All right, so we've got more and more folks piling in. We got 50 plus 55 folks on the Zoom. We got another 30, 40 joining us on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, what's up? Feel free, come on over. You can join us on the Zoom as well. If not, hey, you like checking things out on LinkedIn, then cool, just stay on LinkedIn. But today, I'm telling y'all, today's going to be a good one. I will tell you, I also get hesitant with this topic too. And Katie, I know you and I have a very similar opinion, right? We're going to talk about the concept of how to use ChatGPT for better messaging. And what I want to be very clear that Kevin and I are not advocating for. We are not advocating that you should have ChatGPT write emails for you. Okay? I said it again, and I got to be candid. Almost all the other AI tools that exist, they shouldn't purely write the emails and hit send either. I don't care if you're using Clay, if you're using Lavender, Humantic, I don't care what you're using. And that's what we're going to tell you instead what to do. We're going to tell you how to use generative AI to write really amazing content that is easily put into emails and requires very little work from you. And Katie, what are your thoughts on that, man? Let's talk about your thoughts again. I know you and I are both pretty adamant about this topic.
You pretty much nailed most of it there. It's when I look at it writing email, I think about it getting the foundation. I think about it getting like bits and pieces or creating a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a theme, creating a tone of an email. But I have yet to send a ChatGPT fully written email once, right? I'll use it to like get something going, right? We'll get into the examples. Like I've shared one of my favorite things is helping me connect the dots in an email. We talked about this, they care about this. Can you help me connect the dots a little bit here? But I'm still then taking that and piecing it together into the email. So I think you nailed it. I think that's where a lot of people went wrong so fast with ChatGPT is they had it write emails and they were bad. And they're like, oh, this doesn't work. It's like, well, that's not what it's for. So I'm pumped for today to kind of get into the weeds on how to actually do this.
And we've got two truths and a lie here. I like Becca, pulled this out. So, all right, we'll do this for everybody. Okay. You got to tell me if it's 1, 2, or 3. Okay. 1. All right. Generative AI has the ability to pretty much mostly replace reps when it comes to customization, making human intuition experiences important, but ChatGPT can replace most of it. Number 2, utilizing generative AI, businesses can achieve better personalization by directly addressing each client's unique challenges. And number 3, generative AI can significantly reduce the time spent on creating personalized sales materials such as emails, presentations, by augmenting the content creation process. So which of these? Is it about replacing the reps? Is it about higher degrees of personalization we can add as a part of this that's unique to a client, or creating personalized materials? Which of these do we feel like is the lie? So you can just drop in a 1, a 2, or 3. Let us know what you think. I'll take a look here. We'll see what folks are saying. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. All right. We didn't disguise it very well, I don't think. I tried to even switch up the order. It was going to be number 3, but I'm going to say it's number 1 as a part of it. Well, we have one person added 3 there. Yeah, and I think, look, the point of this exercise, and most of you pretty quickly nailed this: lie, truth, yep. Is that the human component? And look, and I'll tell you, and Katie and I talk about just how valuable is the human component with a lot of what people are doing, because it can get really good at a lot of other things. But the human component is still very real to add the customization. Now, had I put in there, as a part of it, AI will replace most reps who are hitting send all on AI generated emails. I think that's a truth.
Jake, I've been saying that for years to my own teams internally, saying if all you're doing is sending templated emails, I don't need you. Because if you're I could load up templated emails all day. The reason why the human is involved is to add the human element. And yet so many orgs have shifted to this template-based outreach. Like I cannot express, and this is fun because I get to do this with my own teams. It's like if all it took was a templated email, guess what I wouldn't need?
Correct.
Like all of it took to book good meetings was templated emails. I wouldn't need sellers like that. Like that's not what we're here to do, right? We're here to add that human element to it, right? Because yeah, if you're just doing send all in templates, you're already replaceable. It actually is that straightforward. You are already replaceable if you're just sending templates.
Yeah. And I think like, look, and I want to delineate though, I think what you can have templates that provide a framework, but then you're adding in the
Right.
customization,
Yeah.
right?
The
You are adding
customization,
in
the relevancy, 100%.
layer.
100%. And that's what I'm so excited about with this is the reason why, and I'll be cognizant to the sellers, right? The reason why a lot of sellers only send the templates is because the research takes too long. The relevancy takes too long. Knowing the different personas take too long. That's where ChatGPT comes in, is to make it so much easier to get that part done to write better emails.
Exactly. So I just launched a poll if you're on the Zoom real quick. Again, have some of you, Drew just dropped this in the chat, Drew Noel. And he said, I don't know, 2 to 3 use cases that will remain unnamed, where most or entire SDR BDR teams were replaced with not even full AI, and the response rates, conversion rates, doubled. Yeah, my friends, that's what's up. And again, my guess is, and again, it probably KD probably was the leader's fault, probably was the CRO's fault, probably the board, the CEO said, KD, we got to do more. We're behind. We're behind on quota. We got to do more activities. And so they told the teams to start pumping the more button as a part of this. So, all right, I'll end the poll. Most of you said, how would you grade your ChatGPT? 65% said it gets me started but wouldn't send. 24% said needs a lot of editing. So, we've got about, let me just use a quick, 89% said it gets me started or it needs a lot of editing. And again, that's kind of the whole point of today is that what ChatGPT is actually good at is writing snippets and very specific value props that you can then quickly copy and paste in and make some small tweaks to. It can't, and what that requires is to have good email templates. So KD has frameworks. We have frameworks where it's like, one, how do you say, how do you show that you know what my job title does? And we'll get into some of the snippets that can do that. There's very specific snippets, are you doing some amount of customization in the first couple of sentences? So there's this idea of you can have these frameworks, but what ChatGPT is really good at is combining a persona, a VP of operations, with a certain company size, with trends in the industry, with that industry that you serve, and saying, hey, here are 3 value props for the HR person in this thing. And I can even copy and paste in some other things as well, too. That's what we have found. We have consistently found that snippets, it crushes. And that's where all of you can use it. And I'm going to go live and we're going to do some of this first. We're going to do some of this live together. But this is where it's at, is this idea of snippets here. And yeah, feel free. We've got some people just dropping questions in. Feel free to drop the, share results. I didn't click that button. There you go. Share results. We haven't had a poll yet, Katie. So I'm not, I got to get my poll game up.
Okay, getting very sophisticated.
People could just take that clip and I could see a meme right now of, something not appropriate. But, so let's jump into this real quick. Okay. So our number one hack for great emails with ChatGPT is not using ChatGPT to send your emails, but instead using it to create snippets. So Katie, I'm going to pull in. You can kind of guide me here. Let's go to screen 2. All right. Verify. You guys can see my perfect value prop builder. We can see that now. Let me see. I'm waiting for my LinkedIn to catch up. You got it? Okay, good. All right. I am excited here. Let me pull this over here. Brian's already pre-done some stuff for us too. So we've already done the custom instructions on the back end to make this thing hum a little bit further. Make sure you tune in. Well, DM me or KD. If you guys want to learn more about like customizing this to your org. So if you're on LinkedIn or if you're on Zoom, you can DM either one of us. We've got some really cool things that we're going to be rolling out to all of you reps here in the next 2 weeks. To where a lot of the things, what we've realized is a lot of the things that we've been talking about as a rep, you're like, Jake, this is great. I see the value. Can I just get access to these custom GPTs so I don't have to write it myself? So guess what, my friends? We have a new offering. It's launching in 2 weeks. It's built for reps, really low monthly cost. We'll continue to update it, but you will literally get access to all these custom GPTs that we've been working on. So like this one, like the perfect value prop builder. But in the meantime, we'll just show you how these things can work. And then you be the judge. That's what I'd say. You be the judge of how good you think this is. You be the judge. You tell me. You're like, hey, I think this is good or not. Okay. So step one, and Katie, this is what I love. Most people don't even realize it. I was literally on a call yesterday with a guy, AI expert, right? He goes, yeah, but what do you think about the recency of ChatGPT? Isn't it only updated to like 2022? I'm like, it can go online now. Oh, well, it can? You're like, yes, yeah, it can. It's been like 3 months it can.
Yeah.
So Katie, talk a little bit about this. Like as I go through this, you can kind of, I don't know,
Yeah.
add your commentary, how you guys are using this even at bench or how you're seeing other folks use it and get value.
Yeah. So I'll start with, kind of walking people through. It's like why we love these bots is because it guides you through it. Whereas before, like you had to like do all the prompts to get it to do this, where now it's like, okay, what do we need to know? So it'll ask you first, like, what is the company website, right? And it goes out and it finds it, right? It finds what it is to give an idea of like what is it they do, right? And you can see like the different sources that are coming in from here as well. So it's telling you where it's finding the information, right? So it just goes out and gets
Check
it
this out.
first,
I
right?
think it said, Katie, I will take a look. I think it said it looked at 13 different sources. So look, here's your two choices, reps and sales leaders. Sales leaders, you really need to wake that
Oh
up.
yeah.
Like your rep can go to a company's website and look at all the 5 pages and 6 pages and be like, oh, I think I know what they do. Or literally they copy and paste a link and
Right.
it will pull from this is what they do. This is how they're focused on it. And then, for marketing teams, here's what they do. Here's what they do for sales teams. In addition, they do like this would save you 10 minutes. Just this.
Oh my God, way more than that.
At least 10
Jake,
minutes.
it might have been too long since you led sales people directly. You know how
Oh,
long?
come on, man. Dude, I am still in the game.
Okay,
Come on,
10
man.
minutes to do this. This is hours. This is a day
No,
of
no, the
work.
whole
Like
thing will be hours. I'm
that's
just
what I
saying,
mean.
like, to
Yeah.
look at the website. To look at the website. That's
Oh man, they go down the rabbit hole and you know it. Like it's gone.
That's
But
true. I
that's
guess
the
that is
other
true. Because
part.
then you end up on LinkedIn and you're like, oh shit, how did I get here?
But real quick though, what also happens is if you scroll up, even when the rep does all this research, you know where most of that information goes? In their head. It's not
Totally. Yep.
documented anywhere. The beauty of this is
I can
like,
come back to it.
boom, it's documented. I have it. I could copy and paste it into a doc, into the CRM, whatever else. It's also not just living in a rep's head, because also reps, and y'all know this, we research accounts. Like you researched it once
Oh,
and
totally.
then
Yes.
we go back and research it, whereas
100%.
this is already living here.
150%. That's what
So,
happens.
so now we're back to this. So we got the high level on the company. Now notice what it's asking for, right? It's like, all right, we know what the company does. What's the job title and sub industry you're looking for? So I can go out and get information on that, right? So we're looking for the VP of marketing. Industry is finance. Sub industry is financial performance management software, right? Like we're talking very specific on what we're looking for. And with just a click, now it's going out on Bing. It's looking
You can
for
say
the
like, hey, I got a
role.
CFO, I got a blah, blah, whatever your thing is, you just type it in. And so, yes, this is where Joe, now it's getting to hours. Now it's getting to hours. I was just saying the website. So, okay, here we go. Let's go. Okay. And by the way, I want to call out real quick. One thing that you will hear Katie and I talk about consistently is the concept of sub industry. And let me tell you why it's so important. If you as a seller don't appreciate the nuances of who you sell to, it will be difficult to book meetings. I'm going to give you an example. We sell to engineering, my friends. Is that mechanical? Is it manufacturing? I mean, like, I could go on and on. So again, I want a lot of you to think about, it's important to focus on the sub industry. Don't just say engineering, right? So here you go. So now, again, it's starting to connect some dots for me. VP, finance, especially with this, holds a critical role. It combines oversight, innovative strategies, effective team. Responsibilities can vary. Key duties involve this. So it's going to teach you about your persona. If you're like, Jake, this is such a good example. Let's say you're getting up to speed as a rep, or let's say you just got a new territory. It's the beginning of the year. Maybe you got a new vertical. I literally am teaching you how to sell to these people in real time. You don't need to even think more. Courtney Brown said, wait, it's just a simple prompt to learn everything a business does by plugging in a link. It's like, yep, that's kind of, part of it. So here are the skills.
It's what's programmed in the back end, y'all. That's what the custom instructions are. We haven't reviewed custom instructions in a while, but like, that's where on the back end we're teaching it what we want it to do, sourcing it with what good looks like building it out on the back end so it already has the prompts pre-built. Whereas if you're not using like a custom GPT, you would have to prompt it each and every time to try to go do this, and it's not nearly as strong.
And I'll just tease it. I'm not going to go into it. I will just show you all just really quickly. So this is where the magic happens, is here. And again, I'm not going to go into all of this, but we've got some additional best practices, we've got some instructions, etc. And again, you can see, just so you know how long this is.
I was going to say, look at how long this is.
So anyway, I will not start to divulge secrets. Brian's going to send me a message here. I already know it.
I'm surprised you didn't see like a fist.
I told you not to show that. Sorry, Brian. You know me. I can't help. Yes, Brian does love the hashtags. That is true. If you've seen his work. But again, look at this. The insights finance industry subject are based on various sources. Look. Oh, you're like, hey, I want to go learn more. It literally is giving you sources that if you're like, I want to go learn more about this persona, I can. Okay, so now let's start to bring all this stuff together. And again, keep in mind, we're going very slow, but to copy and paste a link and type in, we're like less than a minute into this, right? As a part of this. So now what's the value prop? And then how can we solve that value prop? Okay, boom, here we go. Right, so here's how we can potentially help them as a part of this. So again, you're trying to get a meeting with a VP of marketing based on what the company cares about, right? We're trying to get a meeting with this revenue-based AI company. It's what the company is talking about from their website. The persona cares about based on their sub-industry and industry trends, all combined into one. If I was doing this myself and I wasn't overly explaining and pontificating, this takes about a minute and a half to get here. Now, what could I do with this, right? So again, we'll keep going, but even with this here, everyone, like, you could use this for your snippet. If you're trying to literally get a meeting with their VP of marketing in a minute and a half, there's a growing integrating automation tools in marketing, particularly in the financial sector. These technologies help predictive customer. What we do to help is, and again, it's directly tied to some of these, right? There's cybersecurity. I don't know. That could matter. So again, another thing. Oh, this is a big one. So, okay, you could do that. But this is one of our favorite things to do, is we always tell it, we say, hey, get more jargony. Like, usually there's very few times in life where you'll ever hear those sentences, they're saying come out, like, be more jargony. But again, you want to relate. You want to get in front of, those people.
It's right? Industry jargon. Too often sellers use sales jargon to non-sales people. It's using the industry jargon, the industry acronyms, the industry shorthand. That's where it's so strong and valuable, because then again, you sound like you know what you're talking about and you're talking to them in their language. It's actually really interesting. One of the books that messed with my mind the most about human behavior is called Behave, and it talks about how subtly we pick up on language differences, like subtle. language differences. We are primed to hear it. So when people are using slightly different words, we notice. This is why it's so important to have the industry jargon, because it sounds like their language written in that email. It's so powerful.
There we go. All right, let's see.
Oh, here we go. Combined with
okay,
the value prop, give me 3 new ones.
Yeah, I could have done. All right. Yeah. Again, this is where it's like you guys are seeing this literally like live. Like we're literally like building this GPT in the last like 2 days, 3 days for this. Um, and again, what I could do is, so here, I'm just going to stop it because I don't like this. I'm going to say, give me this in one paragraph. So again, you don't throw out you never throw out the answer. You throw out the crappy prompt that I wrote. So in one paragraph for each with the jargon infused. Again, so now, oh wow, instead this is going to take me an extra minute because I wrote a bad prompt, so we'll see if this worked even better. And Brian, if you're watching, we've got to integrate those two as a part of this, but this is good. Boom. There you go. See, she figured it out.
Yep.
I just needed one. It was just a bad prompt,
All about the prompt, baby. All about the prompt.
Right. So again, look at this. In the rapid landscape of financial performance, the emphasis on data-driven decision-making is paramount. VPs and marketing are increasingly leveraging SEO and CRM data to understand market dynamics and customer behaviors under the need for a sophisticated approach to ROI. What we do for that is this. And again, this is where you customize. You don't copy and paste this into the template you're using, the framework you're using. But then again, like I don't like to use the word paramount. Like it's paramount. Like other things. Here you go. AI. Earnings, blah, blah, and overall digital strategy become integral to VP market's vocabulary. I mean, like, give me a break here. These are amazing. As a part of this, I'm guessing these are under 100 words, aren't they? Looks like it's under 100 words, doesn't it? Probably is. Yeah, I could just tell it to get it under 100 words too, and it would do that.
Yeah.
But this is the value. And again, like Becca just dropped this. She'll drop it on LinkedIn too. I would encourage you, what we're doing going forward. So all my friends who signed up for the Prompt Pro, amazing. You have access. We just dropped a LinkedIn here, and we've already been doing these workshops for the last couple of months. We've had, I don't know, maybe 100 something people go through them. Sign up for the workshops. It's like $100. You also are now going to get access to the Prompt Pro community. So we did have them as separate offerings. And what we realized is like, we want you guys to take action, and the workshop will be much more action orientated to where, yeah, you can get access to the prompts, but if you get access to the prompts and then you start taking action and you do the workshop, you're going to be even more, more on top of it as right now. So yeah, there you go. So Prompt Pro has 125 prompts right now. I think we still launched it at like 30. So sign up. I guess maybe we don't have the dual offering yet. So you can sign up for the workshop. How about this? If you sign up for the workshop, shoot me or Becca a DM. We'll give you access to Prompt Pro for free. So if you sign up for the workshop, hit me up.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So could we try something here as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm doing the emails is actually I break the email out by the segment, so to speak. So meaning like, write a powerful first sentence of this email, applying the trend and jargon from cybersecurity and financial data management. The goal is to pique their interest enough to open the email and keep on reading. Right. So again, when I'm trying to do the emails, I actually don't even say write the whole email. I'm even telling it which part of the email I want it to write. And that's when it's a little bit more powerful. So now write a powerful first sentence that will, based on that is a strong enough hook to get them to open the email and want to keep reading. See what comes up here.
I'm going to add a little ad lib. You can tell me if you don't want to do this. Feel free to leave a blank space or two. You know, I wanted to say it. I'll write your name. You know, I wanted
Yeah.
to say it so bad.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, feel free to leave a blank space or two, where I would need to customize.
See what it comes up with here.
Yeah, I don't love it.
Right. So I don't love when it brings in revenue base. I do love the in an era where data is gold.
Yep.
Like as a start of it, yeah, there we go. Like make sure this is only focused on the trends and does not mention us as a company. It's only talking about the trends and the persona. But an era where data is the new gold is actually a strong start to an email,
I'm
if
sorry,
that's going
dude. I
out to
can't. That
market.
Matthew McConaughey commercial has ruined that. Have you seen
Oh
this?
no. No.
Oh. Oh, you haven't seen this, man? So Matthew McConaughey is like Salesforce's new spokesperson. And if you stream shows on what streaming service, like always, it literally shows this all the time. Could be YouTube TV. No, maybe it's, I can't remember what it is. Matthew McConaughey is in the wild, wild west, and he's walking out like he's like a gunslinger. And he walks out and he goes, and he's like, it's Salesforce. And he just looks around. He's like, if AI is the wild, wild west, does that make data the new gold?
Oh my God. All
And he
right. Well
goes,
then yeah,
and
I
then he
didn't know
looks and
that.
he goes, huh. And that's the whole fucking commercial. It's like 8 lines. If AI is the wild west, does
Oh
that
my
make
God.
it
All
gold?
right. Well, I didn't know that, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't watch a lot of TV, so I didn't know. That's amazing.
A lot of people get it.
Yeah.
Drew, Tara,
Yeah.
Ben,
Everyone
Courtney.
they jumped on it quick. They jumped on it quick.
I don't have a good. There we go. There you go. So again, like
Yeah.
this is also illustrating like, the idea that what do you call it? It's the prompt, guys. Like again, you don't just like, oh well, this thing sucked. This thing can't actually help me to write a first sentence. No, just write a better freaking prompt. As a
Mhm.
VP of marketing and dynamic rebel financial performance management software, embracing the power of data is not just a trend. This is better, I swear, on everything. This right here. And I'm telling you, Katie and I get tens of cold emails every single week. This opening line, I get an email that starts this good, I can count on less than one hand a month. This line right here is better than 99% of the cold emails I get.
Isn't that so sad? It's just so sad. Like
Well, people don't give a
I
shit. You
hate,
got to give a shit about the buyer. Like
yeah.
if you cared about that, like all this is going to help you to do as a rep is help you to better um better connect. And again, it's actually interesting. Leo, I saw, and Leo, shout out to Leo. Leo's always active, man. I appreciate you always chiming in. But I'm gonna call out something Leo said, and this is in a good way. Leo said AI cannot mimic empathy. I want to define empathy, and maybe it's a different definition. Empathy is I understand what you're going through. I don't have I'm not might not be there with you, but I understand. I think what AI can do though is do the early stages of it. It can show that I get you. I know what your plight is. I know what you're going through. Is that empathy? I might define it as empathy, and so now can it's not going to understand the emotional piece and like, a role play with you, but to get someone's attention, can it show that level of empathy? Like I said, this shows more empathy than 99% of emails I get. This shows more, wow, this person gets it. So it's just some things I think for you all to think about. Clinical empathy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Lydia's God.
Yeah. It's
Joe
like
says, I think.
what we
Yep.
confuse on the behavior versus the intention, right?
Yep.
AI cannot feel yet.
Sure.
Who
Yeah.
knows eventually? Cannot feel, but can it express the behaviors of someone who's empathetic? Absolutely.
Yeah. For sure.
Absolutely, it can, right? Because remember, all characteristics display in a behavior. You know someone's empathetic because of how they behave. How does an empathetic person behave? Well, they ask the follow on questions, they just listen, they do not go into solution mode, right? Like they do. You absolutely. There are already, and this is actually a couple years behind. There's already AI therapists already,
Oh
AI
yeah.
therapists. And what's crazy is that patients prefer them because they do not fear judgment. No matter what, when you're speaking with another human being, there can be judgment there. Like it can absolutely have the behaviors of empathy. 100% it can.
Yeah. And sometimes even more because it's like its only job is to listen. And so, you know, the biggest part of empathy is listening um, to what is happening. All right. Well, like we can get down that at some other point. So,
Yeah.
my friends, that is what's up. So, if you are somebody who is out there and you are like Jake, ChatGPT cannot write emails. We agree. It's not very good at writing emails, but it's really good at doing what we just showed you it can do. And again, even if you don't have like this custom GPT that we created, you can recreate parts of this, you know, and say, hey, I'm trying to set a meeting with this company, insert link. I want you to look at their product page. I want you to do this. I work at this company, insert link. And I sell to this persona and I want to come up with a couple value props. Okay. And then just keep taking it down. Okay. Add some jargon to it. So you guys can play with this on your own too. Obviously, if you are interested, if you're like, Jake, look, I could play with this, but if you guys are coming out with something, you know, like I said, DM me or DM KD. We can kind of put you guys on the wait list for what's coming out here. You will also get free access as a part of this new offering to premium Chat GPT. You will also, as a part of this new offering, for those of you, you know, who are worried about data and security, any data that you enter, and this is from OpenAI, is excluded from training by default. So you can be kind of rest assured that when you get access to these bots, none of the things you enter, whether it's it's your company's website, so there's really nothing proprietary there. But if you're worried, you know, nothing actually feeds any type of training. So, you know, as a part of this, literally, you'll get free. You can cancel your subscription to Premium GPT. We'll give that to you. None of the data will go back to it for training purposes, and you're going to get access to these custom GPTs that the team, you know, Katie, myself, Brian have spent a ton of time building. So DM us if you're like, look, man, I need that in my life, and we'll make sure to kind of put you on the list. So, Katie, final thoughts. Number one hack for writing emails. We kind of flipped it and said,
Yep.
don't use it to write emails.
I mean, the number one hack is to get the heavy lifting out of the way. You get the research out of the way, you get the trends out of the way, you get the tone out of the way. And then I'll say the second biggest hack is then asking it to connect the dots, right? Connect the dots between this trend and this feature that we do. That's where I've seen the most value from it. Is like, okay, the trend is whatever, data is the new gold, whatever. Key feature of ours is that, you know, we bubble up in time data and whatever. Can you connect the
Right.
dots to that and connect it to their company? That's my hack for emails. Is I'm getting pieces of the email, right? Like what I coach my teams on and companies on is I believe 80% of the email can be templated in terms of relevancy, in terms of the structure, in terms of the copy. It's that 20% nuanced, right? The opener, the middle, and the end CTA, where that connecting the dots needs to happen. So that'd be my hack. Get the heavy lifting out of the way, and then get the snippets, get the one-liners in there where it sounds like, wow, that was really good and relevant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I think that's what's important is like, and now, and let me just tell you what the beautiful part too is. I'll just add before we wrap up. It's like once you do this for a few of your customers and your next prospect, it's also making you smarter to where now I'm like, oh, VP of marketing. Oh yeah, I used that AI line in the last one and it worked. Cool.
Yeah.
Like it, it's going to make you better at customization and you better at personalization too. So it's not taking the knowledge from you. It's going to continue to teach you all. So amazing here. LA, yes, please DM me. I'm definitely down to set some time up, or feel free. You can private message and I'll your email, and I'll have the team set something up. So make sure if you have not sign up for one of the workshops, y'all. It's $100 or something. Like Brian is amazing. You can ask questions. You don't have to feel stupid. Everyone's learning it with you. If you've already done the workshops, if you're like Jake, I'm at the 2.0 level and I want to start to implement this stuff faster so I can close 20%, whatever more deals, DM me or DM KD and we'll get you all in the list as a part of this as well too. So that's what's up, everyone. Appreciate you. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you in
Stuff.
2 weeks.